Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? You already know what
Howdy.
it is. It's the evening rush each and every Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m.
There
on the
you
Evening
go.
Rush Network.
There you go.
It's nice and rainy outside. I'm loving it.
I hate. First of all, this weather makes me just want to sleep. I'm already tired. I'm just ready to get
I'm
in my
loving
bed
this.
and
I'm loving this weather. I'm 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 loving this weather.
okay, you can
If
love it.
y'all
I
don't
got
know, the number is 929-441-2417. Support the show. You already know. Hit us up on Cash App, The Evening Rush. We are in the building. It's Dawn and Rainbow. Rainbow and Dawn. You already know what it is. It's just us two today. Just the two of us. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, it's the rain, man. It's the rain. You know, it brings out the old school in me. All
yeah.
right. I got to stop with the bombs, boy.
It's a
Yo,
bunch of
what's
bones.
going on in New York City and all others? Yo, I'm feeling so good today. Tired, but good. Tired is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I knew I should have hit the shade or something. I'm looking rough out here in these streets. I definitely got to fix that.
Don't
What's
feel
good,
bad.
Rainbow, man? How you feeling, man?
Tired. I'm
Tired.
tired, but I'm good.
You know what I mean? It's been a long day. It's been a
It
long day.
has
How was
been.
your weekend? Because you had the pop up shop. I'm so sorry I didn't get to make it.
It's fine.
But
Stuff
I
happens.
was going through a lot this weekend.
I get it.
Went through a lot of stuff this weekend. Oh,
Yeah.
shout out to J Mac. She was in New York. You know what I mean? I'm sorry I didn't get to see you too, J Mac. You know what I mean?
They're
Shout
not
out to the
long
whole
enough.
Getting to the
You be
Focus
you,
crew.
you be thinking you're gonna be able to do a whole bunch during the weekend, and then you blink and it's over.
Yeah, yo, honestly, man, these kids have manifest into my life to the point where I cannot move when I need to move and move how I want to move sometimes.
What did you think was
They've
gonna happen?
nah, this I was you know what it is? I was used to one or two where you get a babysitter. Yo, hold the kid for a while. And then you remember I didn't have a wife and a kid, so it was like, all right, let's stay with your mother. I'm
Right.
out. You know what I'm saying? Now it's different. And now that we have two sets of twins, it's even like we can't literally move.
No,
Like
no one's
if you
watching
get
for a kid.
somebody to watch, yeah, like you get somebody to watch two kids, and that's cool. But when it's time to be like, yo, could you watch all of them? All of a sudden, people feel, yeah, nah, I got something to do. I'm busy this week.
I can't do that. That's your
I,
job, not mine.
yeah, I didn't make all
Watching
them kids.
four children is a lot of work.
Yo, Mom Dukes had to watch the kids today, just for a couple of minutes, while I had to take Joy to the doctor, and yo, we called to check. She's like, your kid's stressing me out. What time you coming back? What? God damn, mom, it was just a couple of hours. Just a couple. We didn't need.
A couple
Yeah,
of
well, yeah.
hours
What
with
what
four
what
kids
time you
is a lot.
what time you coming back? Kids are crazy. Yeah, I know my kids are crazy, mom, but
Mhm.
please hold
And
this down.
you need youth. You need youth behind you too with that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely. Definitely. These kids is a handful. They real. And yeah, I knew having kids was real because I got nine, but
You've always looked because
these
you've always had
four,
kids.
these four is just different,
Different.
different,
Yeah. New age kids
different.
are different.
Yeah, yeah. I think Tristan alone is super beast, man. He's a beast. But that's gonna be my football player, and I'm proud of. I'm happy. You know what I mean? But finish telling us about what happened with the pop up shop.
It was a pop up shop.
Was it
Friday night
exciting?
we had a pop up shop. We did pretty good. It was a pretty good turnout.
Okay.
Um, Saturday we were supposed to do a pop up shop, but the weather or whatever, and it was
Yeah.
outside, so they postponed it to Sunday. It wasn't
Yeah.
really a pop up. It was more like I don't know, like a community day. because it was the first annual Farmers Day. So
Mm.
they had free food, rides for the
I miss
kids,
free
the
food. Look at this
sauce,
shit.
and it wasn't like free food just like hamburgers and hot dogs. They did have hamburgers and hot dogs, but they had jerk chicken,
I
fried
miss free
fish,
jerk chicken.
rasta
This is some
pasta,
bullshit.
fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, rice and peas, salad. They had a spread, a spread of stuff.
I
Because one of
don't
the
want to hear no more. I don't want to
I'm
hear no
sorry,
more.
well, one of the
I don't want to hear
sponsors
no
was
more.
a
I'm
chef.
mad right now.
One of
I'm super mad. I'm
You
super
didn't
mad.
come. You
I
didn't
miss
come.
jerk
That
chicken,
was on you.
free shit.
Free jerk chicken. Yeah, one of the
Free jerk
sponsors
chicken.
was one of the sponsors is the chef, so he did all him and his people did
Yo,
all the
shout out to
cooking.
him, man.
Chef
Shout out to my
Primo.
man.
Then Seatown, because it's right there, because it was at the Rock on 109 in Farmers. Seatown, they sponsored the liquor store across the street, Twins Liquors, Bakila, and then they have the Farmers Variety Store. So they all came together collectively and had Farmers Day. And
Oh,
it
shout
was
out to Vakila. That's a name I haven't heard it since
let me
Yak
tell
with
you,
us.
I can't do Vakila simply because there's tequila.
Yeah, but it was a good brand though.
It's
I
still
definitely
down.
I definitely. Well, listen, I might have to holler at them. Yo, shout out to our sponsor, Plush, though. Definitely, all day, every day.
It's still around, but I'm like, I'm a vodka drinker, but I'm not a tequila drinker, and tequila makes me throw up, so that's a no go for me. But I remember when I used to do tastings and things like that. I did tastings of Vakila.
Copy. All right. Well, let's get into what's going on this week.
Hold on. But
yeah.
You just told us how your day was. You didn't tell us how your week was.
I told you my week was freaking crazy.
Oh. I mean, you just said that you took Joy and the kids drove your mother crazy. That's all you pretty much said.
Listen. Friday was the best day because we was all chilling. Saturday, it was kid situation, and then Sunday I was sick, so it was like it was that type of weekend.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean, so it wasn't all that it was cracked up to be.
It wasn't a great weekend.
Yeah, it wasn't an amazing weekend, but hopefully next week will be amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said.
Well, this weekend, it's Labor Day weekend.
Yeah. Oh, well, listen. It's September 1st. Shout out to September 1st at this point.
I don't know. Monday I'm going to Coney Island to see Kess and friends. So Kess the band. Kess the band? A soca band in Brooklyn.
Oh, I never heard of them.
You heard their music before. Trust me.
I've heard their music before?
I'm pretty sure you have.
What song did they sing?
Wordless. Hello?
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
Once if you play it, you be like, oh, this. You know what it is.
Yeah, probably.
I'm telling you.
That's how it goes with me.
Yep. Yeah, because I know it's not R&B, it's not rap, it's not in your wheelhouse. You're not a soca lover.
Yeah.
I get it. I got you.
Shout out to Envy, man. She on the check-in, but she on the wrong check-in. I keep telling her we're no longer on Facebook, so you know what I mean. We are officially only on YouTube.com. We are on. Let me not say that because we're on the EveningRushNetwork.com as well. So you definitely can catch the show there.
Yes.
So back to current events. The new current events in New York City, might I add, is our dizzy fucking mayor to join our even dizzier fucking governor. If they don't bring Cuomo back to save our lives, yeah.
He was touching people, so he can't.
Envy?
He can't come back because he was touching people.
He was touching people, all right, to save our lives at this point, man. I'm a little stressed out. The mayor says that, everybody has to be vaccinated now. He wants the city workers vaccinated. He wants um
He
the
wants
hospital
everyone
workers
vaccinated.
vaccinated and the teachers vaccinated.
Well,
And then
the teachers are city workers. That they work for the Department
Department
of
Education.
Education, which is the city department, New York
And
City Department of Education.
and now our governor goes, it's not mandated for them to get vaccinated.
It's her call. It's not his call.
Yo, I'm confused. But who's leading who here?
The governor is the leader of the state, right? So she has the last say so. De Blasio has been doing this his entire time in office, and Cuomo told his ass the same thing. You don't run shit. I run this.
He went a different method of saying you don't run shit.
What was the method? What did she say?
Cuomo said, listen, we're gonna work together, but you don't run shit. She said, nigga, this ain't what's going down. So I'm confused. Who's getting vaccinated? Who's not getting vaccinated? At this point, like I said, at the end of the day, all those people that's in between getting COVID and getting vaccinated, I think it's time that y'all stop playing the fence, make a choice, go get some COVID in you, or get vaccinated. One or the other.
I mean, look,
that works for me.
Even if you get vaccinated, you got yourself a little COVID in you.
No. COVID is not in the vaccination.
Yes, it is.
And he said, I'm not.
Yes, it is. So tell me this. So when most people, I'm not saying everybody, but when most people get the vaccine, their first shot, for those who got the Pfizer and the Moderna, the first shot they did well on. The second shot, they felt like shit. Why is that?
You felt like shit because most of the people had probably had COVID already, or those had to get used to what was in the vaccine.
No,
I remember I told you I when I got my second shot, I was tired. That was really it, and my arm hurt.
And if you caught COVID, that's what would happen to you. Is what I'm trying to say.
When you caught COVID, did you have your arm hurt?
No, because I didn't get injections. I didn't get injections because there's no injection site.
You had a headache.
But there's no injection site. That's what I'm trying to say. So what they say
is, minus the injection, you're basically saying is what you felt.
I was fatigued. Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Right. Check. I had a headache.
Check. You had what?
I had a headache, and I had the chills.
Check.
For 2 days, and according to my man, I had a fever for 1 day.
Check. Okay. So what you technically get is the fever. Some people, not everybody.
But you know what? You will get that with any vaccination.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I remember me and you had this discussion before, and hold on, friend.
No, the problem is she had COVID before she got that shot. What I was saying to Dawn is
just having a conversation about that.
I don't understand why they don't give you a rapid test before they give you the shot to make sure you don't have COVID before they give you the shot in the first place.
And because we just had a conversation about that.
Defeating the purpose.
Yeah, but remember, like I said, I think like you said before, and I think you really touched something. A lot of us probably had COVID in November or December, October even of that following year
2019.
Because a lot of us were sick.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of us probably had COVID during that time.
And they didn't know what it was. They didn't know to test for it. They were just testing for like the flu and things of that nature. And they were like, no, it came back negative. Well, what the hell is wrong with me then?
Don, the damn speaker for COVID. No, I'm not the speaker for COVID. No, I'm definitely not the speaker for COVID.
So what they say is...
I just feel like, you know what I'm saying, end of the day, we're not getting enough information from the people that we're supposed to get information.
Don is the spokesperson for anxiety. That's what he's the spokesperson for. Because before Don got his goddamn shot, this man was anxious to go outside for 2 seconds to be around people.
Yeah.
So now he got his shot. Now he's like, he thinks he's invincible at times.
No, I don't. No. I don't think I'm invincible. I still mask up. I still know how to maneuver in this jungle. The difference is though, I do not feel the craziness I felt before. I am not gonna lie and say I did.
What happens is people who
Go
have
get some
people.
COVID. I'm telling you, get some COVID. You'll be all right. You have a
No,
choice. Get the vaccine
there will
again.
never be
Get a
enough
little COVID.
information. There won't be enough
Get a little
information
COVID.
because you know why? They're not even giving us the all of the information needed. They're just telling us bits and pieces. They're telling us what they think we want to hear. They're not telling us the real. But when people who did have COVID and then got the COVID shot, they experienced COVID-like symptoms with their first shot. For those
Again,
people,
yeah,
for those people who had, the Pfizer and the Moderna, they
yeah.
had the experience of the COVID symptoms their first shot. Their second shot,
No, it was their second shot, not their first shot. It
no.
was their second shot.
People who already had COVID.
Okay, all right. Yeah. You're right.
People
Yeah,
who already
absolutely
had
right.
COVID because
I'm
it was
sorry about
already
that.
in their system. So their system was already like, well, what the fuck? We
What the fuck?
already
Who are you? Yeah, like,
we already been through this route. What are you doing here?
yeah.
Get the
Why are
fuck
you
out of
doing
here.
this again?
Right. So their second shot wasn't bad. But the people who never had COVID, their first shot, they was fine. Their second shot, they was like, who beat my ass?
Yeah. I'm just tired. Like I was
Because
driving and
the
I
first shot,
literally was
because the
like,
first
yo,
shot
I gotta go home and go to sleep.
gave their system a sense of COVID. That's what I'm saying. The first shot gave
Well, you know what it is?
their system a sense of
And
COVID,
once
and
again,
that's
this
why the
goes
second
where
shot was like,
this is
well,
where I can
what are
tell
you
you the
doing back here?
miscommunication and what's going on is so crazy because the paper that they give you after you get the shot says does not have COVID in it. It says it has proteins. It says it has some other stuff in it. I can't remember because that was fucking back in March. But the paperwork they gave me said it didn't have COVID in it.
So between the shots, you have to wait 2 weeks between the two shots to get it, right?
Nah, a month. I had to wait a month, and then I have to wait 8 more months in order to get this booster shot.
Well, I'm telling you, it's 2 weeks. Because remember,
I used to work. Now it's 2 weeks.
No, I used to work in the pharmacy. Remember, before I quit my job, like Martine told me to do.
Yeah.
It was 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks, but it takes 2 weeks for it to go to get it into effect. So you out here thinking, oh, I got my first shot, I have somewhat of some coverage. You don't have coverage for 2 weeks, my G.
That is, I found out that was a false statement.
What?
People fully vaccinated are not dying just from COVID. Like they have, like I said, the new variant is very high that it's doing that. So you have to find out, or maybe it is something where their health is really bad.
I have a question. How do we know it's a new variant? How do we know it's a new variant? How do we know they're not just making this up?
I agree with you. But this is now, as President Trump would say, this is the Indian disease. You know what I'm saying? The Indian COVID virus. You know what I'm saying? Remember, he said that the regular COVID was the Chinese COVID virus. This is the Indian COVID virus. So, because this one came from India.
But why? Like, what happened?
Remember, President Trump said that, not I at the time.
But that's what I'm trying to say. So, but basically, they were saying that COVID was made in a lab.
Yeah.
Right? By a Chinese doctor with some type of bat something.
And that went through in Wuhan something. Yeah. But
right?
hold on. Before we even go there now, it was just put out. Information was just put out. And I just heard this 2 days ago. They do not have enough information to say where COVID started.
So
the only information they had that it came from the Wuhan market in China. So that was the information that I just heard from, I think it was Rogers or whatever.
Just like AIDS, and it's man-made.
Yeah. I mean, that is how I truly feel. I think it is man-made.
It is.
And it just got out of control.
And that's my whole thing is, I don't know if this is, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, and I just feel like they did this on purpose. Like, President Trump knew about this in supposedly they say he knew about it in January of 2020, but didn't say anything to anybody because he didn't want anyone to get concerned, but still didn't do anything about it until April.
Yeah.
So you could have done something about it and we wouldn't have really had to know about this, but you knew about it since January.
Mm.
So
Just...
because they say all the people who have little bits and pieces of the vaccine,
What's good,
Dr.
bro?
Fauci.
I see you on the check-in. It is man-made HIV.
Oh, I'm
yeah,
like,
I definitely agree.
Hey, Tom.
That's Tone.
Yes. I'm sorry, not AIDS, HIV. Okay, Tom, sorry.
Yeah, please watch what you say. I don't want to offend the wrong type of people.
HIV turns into AIDS if it progresses, unless you're Magic Johnson.
Who he has the cure.
I personally don't think the man ever had HIV.
Everybody keeps saying that. I'm telling you, he didn't need a reason to say I no longer wanted to be on a football team. I mean basketball team. Excuse me.
No. But if you notice, that's when that man got all that extra money and started buying a whole bunch of extra stuff.
Yeah.
They must have said, I'll pay you for the rest of your life if you become the spokesperson for HIV.
That's a lot right there.
But look at it. No one thinks about him having HIV anymore. So it was.
But see, but once again, this is where I'm telling you, it's the money. You know the reason why they're doing this vaccine thing so hard. It's the money.
It is.
This shit stopped a system. They had to give us free money. Well, not free because they ain't shit in this world free. They had to give us
I'm
about
to say they didn't give us free money. That shit got taken out of our taxes.
Yeah. So pretty much, like I said, everything once it stopped the money, that's when it's like, yo, we need everybody to take the vaccine so we get this. Try to still maneuver and do whatever we got to do.
But my whole thing is what they're charging the insurance companies because no one's essentially paying for a vaccination.
But no one's actually paying for the test. The tests are free.
Oh my God. So speaking of that, do you know that? So I get a listing of whatever was paid, which would have been paid, which I have to pay for on my FSA card. Do you know that it told me that if I had to pay for the test, it was $275?
Yeah.
I said, for what? For the little swab? Yeah, I got to be shitting me.
Yeah, I was going to my back doctor who they do all those tests, and they told me it's $250, $275. I was like, no, I don't want it. I'll
go to City MD.
I'll go to the corner spot. Yeah, no, I ain't paying $250, $275.
Y'all are shitting me.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? But in other countries, like if you go, because of travel, if you have to pay for that in other countries, like to come home, they're not charging you $250. Some places are charging like $75. Some places are charging like $150. Like it's just like, wow.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Go on vacation. Like it's crazy.
It's crazy. But see, that's another. Like I said, it's the money.
Yeah.
Real quick, we're gonna shout out our sponsors, man. Shout out to the Gallery, Plush Vodka, Sayings by Butter, Gear Up on J Mac Lane, A Cause, A Concern, A Solution Network, Envious Creations, and Miss Martine Felton.
Who told me to quit my job? Thank you, Jesus. It was
Shout
Jesus.
out to all our sponsors, man. Continue supporting them. Continue doing what y'all do. Y'all are amazing. But, let's briefly get on to what the topic of the day is. A world full of double standards.
Which I say to you every show.
I'm not on no double standard shit.
Don't, please.
Let's keep that straight.
Please.
I'm going to leave that up just because you said that crazy shit. Yo, we live in a world full of double standards. First of all, shout out to Cam Newton. He was just let go of from the Patriots. One of the statements that were made recently was Cam listens to hip hop.
He's black. Practice, he's not supposed to.
And that was a problem for the Patriots coach. When I've heard and now came to find out that Brady used to do the same thing. So
Tom Brady listens to hip hop?
Yeah.
He comes off as a country guy to me.
Well, now listen, the double standard is they both play for the same team. Now is a problem because the African American guy chose to do
what the problem is he black.
Okay, but once again, there goes that's why is there always a double standard when it comes to our people? No, I don't want to say our people. African Americans and Caucasian Americans. Why should there be a double standard in this world? Why do we have to go through the racism situations? Like, I don't know. I grew up where white, black, and different, we're all one. We all bleed alike. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I ran across my fair share of racism. You know what I'm saying? Karens, Stans. Ran across a couple of them. But I've never changed my belief. And I still push that upon my kids. The same thing. You know what I'm saying? We all bleed the same. Whether they're lighter than you, darker than you, we're all one. I need to understand, though, why people feel that there's a need to have this racism. And where is that emotion coming from?
Can you stop saying people? Because in all honesty, it's usually not black people.
How do you see? That's a double standard. And I want people to call in. The number is 929-441-2417.
If you look back in history, it was always the white man who did bad upon us. And what do? We turn the other cheek.
That was you're talking about my boy Martin. He turned the other cheek because that was his belief.
I'm not just talking about Martin. I'm talking about in general. As far back
Malcolm didn't believe in turning another cheek.
I'm talking about as far back as slavery. There was. Yeah, I'm trying to hold it together. Yeah, because
don't hold it together. Let it go.
You're real raw and uncut. I just feel over. But it's not even just against our people. It's against people in general because European Americans, not Europeans from back in the day, they just always felt like they were they were just superior and everyone else was inferior. They came to several different countries and took over. Took everything, all resources, people, and everything that the land had.
They felt we were a threat from the beginning. That's what you're basically saying.
It isn't just us, but it isn't just black folk. Because they went to India, they went to China, they went everywhere and did the same shit. They came here to America and did the same shit.
I never saw Chinese slaves.
They were here slaves. They were here slaves in America.
Chinese slaves in America. They never said nothing about that. I've never read that in one book. But I've read about us being slaves. And I have read that. I haven't heard that in one book.
Being slaves? Because they try to whitewash that too. They try to whitewash everything that they've done to us.
Well, I disagree.
They don't teach proper history because clearly black people were never a part of America's history. We were just here.
The color of skin intimidates them.
Anyone who's skin, I don't know. I can't even get it together because anyone who's has a darker hue of.
So let me ask you a question. And here goes once again another double standard to me. When we get pulled over by cops, whether white or black, and I'm talking about African Americans, do you feel that it's always our need to go frantic? Why are you arresting me? Why is this? Why? To go crazy with the cops?
Why are you arresting me? If it was just a regular stop, I would want you to go a little extra hard for why
are you getting that?
But
do you feel like that energy is what warranted the stop or what warranted anything that happened or transpired after the fact? Do you notice that if you watch a lot of these videos, we're the first to run as soon as we get out? I'm running. I ain't going to jail.
The whole thing is
I'm not, and by far, I'm not saying that I agree with the violence that comes with it.
Because some black people are dirty. They are dirty. They ride around, no license, no insurance, no this, no that, no none of that. And they like, shit, if I can make my way away from this situation, that's why they run. But even sometimes when you are even not having that type of manner, and it doesn't even have to be a white cop, because I've seen it with black cops.
Once again, and I said, yeah, that's why I said it doesn't have to be a white cop. I've seen it with black cops as well.
Even with our own people, we are considered intimidating people in general, because a lot of us don't take shit. But it's not always because it is because of our skin. Because there was a little black boy who was an introvert, and he was killed by the cops, and all he kept saying was, "Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me?" Not yelling, not screaming. He just wanted to know why they were doing what they were doing, and no one answered him. Y'all have him down on the floor. Y'all doing all this extra stuff to him. And why? Because he was black? He was a little black boy. He was like 19. Very skinny.
So you're saying, all right, and I've been, all right, you know what? Let's pay some bills real quick. And when we come back from paying bills, we're going to get back into this. It's Evening Rush, man.
Looking to podcast shows and do not know where to start? The Evening Rush Network can help you with that. Call us at 929-441-2417 or email us at theeveningrushnetwork@gmail.com for dates and prices. We got you for all your podcast needs. The Evening Rush Network. Tune in, subscribe, and share.
Yo, what's good? It's the Evening Rush. We're back. It's the Evening Rush Network. Remember, the phone number is 929-441-2417. It's Dawn and Rainbow. Shout out to all our sponsors: The Gallery, Plush Vodka, Sands by Butter, Gear Up on J. Mac Lane, A Cause, A Concern, A Solution Network, Envious Creations, and of course, Martine Felton. You definitely can catch us on Instagram at The Evening Rush Show or The Evening Rush. Myself, Dawn, and One by Rainbow, the most dopest massage joint you can ever get. How I hit Rainbow up about that, you know what I mean? So
that what Andrew was saying
is the world full of double standards. Make sure you call in, give us your opinion. You know what I mean? Shout out to my bro. Let's talk crazy.
Ooh.
His own Shice, he's in the building. Hey, what up? What up, Shice? Envy, I disagree. As always, I'm gonna disagree with some shit I said.
But it is that sometimes is the case. Like, some people become officers just simply because they want power. They were probably the nerd. They were probably bullied, this, that, and the third when they were younger. They figure, oh, I get a little badge, a little uniform, and a gun. Now I'm a big bad man. Or a big bad woman, because
but there's a lot of officers out there that are women good officers. And this is the problem. I'm tired of seeing good officers dragged down because of officers that, as you say, want that power. But I've also seen situations where, I think we get pulled over, we overreact. Instead of just complying.
You can't say all the time either, because that's the sometime thing as well. But those are the ones that are caught on camera simply because there are people being irate. When people do
by the time you're on camera, you're already irate and the situation's on 12.
No, but that's what I'm saying. People only tape things that are situations that are irate. That's why they're being taped. We don't see things where they're not going to tape shit that isn't being irate.
Yeah. I'm laughing at Shice.
Uh-huh.
He said his old
Right?
lieutenant is getting
Exactly.
beat up in school.
Exactly.
I mean, like I said, it once you get those cameras, once the camera's on, I think a lot of it now goes left, and you're seeing the bad cop, but you didn't see what led up to him becoming the bad cop in that situation.
I'm not even just talking about in the situation of the cop. I'm talking about the situation of the person being irate. No one's taping a calm person unless there is either the calm person and the irate officer or an irate person and a calm officer. Like those are the situations that you get. Those are the situations that are taped. You're not gonna tape a situation where the person is calm and the officer's calm. No one's taping that because no one feels that no one's gonna watch that shit. They don't care. They only tape shit because they want someone to be like, oh, well, you did that? Oh, that was you that caught that on camera? Everything is for likes and views in this day and age. Things aren't done out of genuine care.
So there's just, once again, just a hypothetical question, and that's for a lot of viewers. You're telling, because this is one thing that I've noticed I've never seen. By the time the cop is telling you back up, back up, back up, and you feel like the situation's getting out of control, why wouldn't you intervene? Versus you're sitting there just holding the camera.
That's what I'm trying to say. Everyone's doing things for likes. It's not because they care. Yeah, we know. Well, we all know that there are good cops and there are bad cops. We got a caller?
Yeah, what's going on, caller? You with Evening Rush?
Yo, what up? This Shice, man. You know I had to call in for this. Yo,
what's good, Shice? Listen, turn that background a little bit. Turn that down a little bit.
Listen,
yes,
I agree with Rainbow, right? And you know I worked in law enforcement, and I've seen asshole cops just do it straight, just being tough for no reason. And I'm being honest. One of my lieutenants was a lieutenant, and he took tests to get promoted because he used to tell us he got beat up in school back then. So now that he got a white shirt, this nigga think he could get all the girls he want. He used it for power. He don't use it to help people. He not out here trying to do things. He was all about him.
But but bro, that's one cop.
Nah,
how many cops have you been around that were actual good cops?
Dude, no, listen, don't get me twisted. My unit had a bunch of great cops, but I also worked the whole city where I saw a bunch of asshole cops.
Yeah.
You understand? And a lot of cops have a power issue. They want to be gun-ho. And that's just the fact of the reality of it is when you, like, I always point to the situation that happened at Pink Houses, right? Yeah. We don't train cops to be in certain areas. And they refuse to put people that look like us in our areas to help the situation. I think if they was to put our people where we know, we would be a better police department all across. But I get it. Everybody's supposed to learn every job. But you can't put somebody who knows nothing about us in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
You can't put a scaredy cat. You can't put a scaredy cat in the projects. Point blank, period.
You can't. The realest thing I've ever seen, I swear to God, I was in Brownsville. Now, I lived in Brownsville. And I seen a cop come on the block scared to death, and the dudes knew he was scared. And the cop said, yo, you guys got to get off the corner. You know, they told that cop to shut the fuck up and you get off the corner? But he was so scared. Like, he didn't know what to do.
What was his response? What was his response?
What you think his response was? He called for backup like he was getting attacked.
But that's what I'm saying. That's one incident of a cop in a bad area. The reason why I say this, I know a lot of good cops.
That's the whole thing. It's not a one and done.
I've had cops.
They do that often.
You know, I've been pulled over before. Bro, just give us a second. Once one caller calls in, the other caller can call in. I got you. I've seen cops where, you know what I'm saying, I've been pulled over and they've been polite. It was never an issue, wasn't a problem. Listen, I showed him my information. He was like, all right, bro, go ahead, have a great day.
But we're not saying all cops are bad, bro.
But people are quick. This is the double standard where people are quick to pull up the bad cops, but you haven't shouted out one good cop.
Let me say this to you, and I'm gonna be as real as I can.
Go ahead.
And I'm gonna tell you, I know the statistics because I used to teach it. Right? Mm-hmm. There is a small portion of cops that are bad. We only focus in on the bad. But what I feel like Rainbow is saying is that there are cops out there who just do it for the badge, who just do it for the power. Yeah. I've had a cop pull me over while I just got off of work. I'm in my uniform pants. Yo, he pulled me over. You know what his response to me was? I asked him, why you pulled me over? He said, because you're in this white truck in a high drug profile area. And I asked him, I said, sir, what the hell does that mean? I live here. Now, I didn't identify myself as working on the department or anything. And he pulled my friend out my car and then proceeded to search him. Now, this is where I love that shit, right? But our people don't know this. I let him do what he did, and I said, yo, sir, why are you searching my man? He was like, because I can. So I said, all right, well, cool. I need your number, your shield number, and your name, and whatever. He told me, fuck me. But on the flip side of that, guess what? I get the last laugh because on my job, I knew more bosses than he could ever know. You're a 73rd precinct cop, and that's all you know. Yeah. I know city cops. I know people all over. And when we did that, guess what? I saw his ass in a hearing the next day. And then he was like, oh, well, why didn't you just identify yourself? Why
should I
have to?
Right.
You shouldn't have to.
When I asked you why you pulled me over, your response could have been anything different. You told me that I am in a high drug profile area driving this truck.
Pretty much he told you because your black ass shouldn't have that nice ass truck in this area.
Yeah.
And that was your response to me, sir? Like, come on.
That was
so again,
that was
it's crazy.
That was definitely disrespectful.
Yo, listen, I'm getting off because I know you got another quarter. I love y'all.
Yo, same here, bro. Appreciate you.
Love you.
Remember, let them know where they can catch you at, bro.
You already know. Let's talk crazy, baby. Everything, baby. Everything. Come on, talk some shit with me.
All
right, y'all.
On the Evening Rush Network, 5 p.m. to 7 on Saturdays. Make sure you check out my bro Shice, the Talk of New York, man.
Talk of the town. Get my shit right.
Yeah, my bad, bro. My bad. I was giving you New York. You want the town fun? All right, bro. I was trying to give you up a little fun.
Any town they understand is what he's trying to say.
Fact.
I'm in everybody town, goddammit.
All right, bro. I'm gonna holler at you.
Later, bro.
Yo, what's good? Banger, you can call back in now, bro. The lines is free. Yeah. But like he said, that was crazy disrespectful what he said, which was, the officers, well, why didn't you show who you were? And why should you have to?
That's the whole thing because I'm a cop, you're going to let me off. But because is pretty much what he told him was, you black in a nice car in an area where there's a whole bunch of drugs and stuff. And that's why I pulled you over. Yeah. Because you black and you could be a drug dealer. That's why you got this nice car.
Yeah, that's definitely crazy.
But I'm not. No, you do see good. You do see good cops doing good things. I'm not gonna say that all cops are bad because my mother was a cop once upon a time, and my mother is a great person, so I know she was a good cop. But we can't forget the stuff that happens.
And I'm like I said, I'm not taking that away from people. There are bad cops out here. I'm not saying there's not. But I just want sometimes to feel like those good cops are getting some type of credit.
No, what happens is we need the good cops.
We got another caller.
Okay, go ahead. It's Banger probably.
Yeah, that's Banger. What's good, bro?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Don't mean to intervene. Salute to the brother that was just talking. He's 100% right. Salute to Rainbow. She's 100% right.
Thank you.
Salute to you, Sean.
Can I be half right, bro?
Sean, you're right as well. And to break this down the best way possible, this is what I can say, and people can take it how they feel. In regards to what Rainbow said earlier, there are people who like to videotape the middle and the end. So we have bad reporters, wannabe reporters who take out the phone and use that as the gun faster to start getting the back end of what happens when the officer is making an arrest. Now, we do have those who get the beginning, the middle, and what leads up to the part that everybody wants to see of the viewing, of the recording of what a police officer does. So, yeah, you do have some bad reporters and some people who don't say the whole thing. But in that case, when it comes to an investigation, sometimes Black people are asked a question and forced to give the short version, not the play-by-play from beginning, middle, and end. So when you have a scenario where a person's not being able to say it the way they saw it, or being told not to say it the correct, exact way, then people can draw it up however way it could have happened. In regards of what Sean was saying earlier, good cops. There are good cops out there. There are great cops out there. But the thing is that here's where you have good and bad. Just like any job. Any job. It doesn't matter if you're a cop or not. Any job. You have a good worker and you have a bad worker. The bad worker is usually the one that's either restrained from a lot or is looked up to because his mother, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, next door neighbor's significant other is the boss or got them the job, so they think they shit don't stink. Excuse my French. And then
say what you gotta say.
Worker. Yeah. And then there's the good worker who is on the side of right, who is fair. And sometimes certain jobs don't like a side of right, fair, or very smart individual. If you're very educated and you have a low title, some jobs don't like that guy because he's too smart. So they move him or her and restrain them away from certain things because it's taken from what somebody else wants. Now, in regards to these police officers that are working the beat, you have police officers, and I have to say this, and this is where I back up Sean. You have police officers that are working 16-hour shifts, 18-hour shifts, 22-hour shifts, right? Mandatory overtime. That same officer that was told to come in on the midday tour gets off probably, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, then got to come back in for the day tour that starts at 4 in the morning, which means they got to get up at 2 in the morning. So that's a 3-hour window of sleep to get up, to come in and then be bothered, make mistakes, errors, etc. This is what most people don't really choose to pay attention to. When you have police officers who just start your first 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you have a certain schedule for a length of time. And that schedule can manipulate. It can go from day, night, midday, night, overnight, etc. That type of person is not mentally updated, didn't get the proper rest, didn't get the 8-hour sleep or the 9-hour sleep. So they're going to make their errors and mistakes when things get hot. Then you have that officer, like you said earlier, who's been he was a sucker in high school, sucker in junior high school, but his mom, dad, sister, uncle, cousin was a cop, a chief, an inspector, is this, that, third, and another. And they said, I'm going to get you in. Don't worry. Just take the test. You got to pass the test. Pass the test, they get in. So now you got a bunch of family members in there who think they shit don't stink. And then when they make a mistake, when they're so used to never making a mistake because they're trying to make not only themselves look good, but make someone else look good in their family or friends, then what happens is they find themselves in a predicament that they can't get themselves out of. And now they have to rearrange, alter, change these different dynamics to make sure that the department looks good.
And that's where that blue shield comes up.
Yeah, and this is where you have your problems. And not just with police officers, but in all jobs, you have the same demographic. That person, those personal dynamics there have to change or alter in order for better results in the police department or public safety.
But this is where I'm saying they got to be a way, and you know what I'm saying? I just want the double standard of that matter to change.
Well, in order for it to change, you have to do things like this. When you have a wrongful shooting, like you hear these cats having wrongful shootings, that officer needs to be evaluated psychologically. They need to have psychological evaluations probably more often, which is every 3
That's
to
what
6
I was going to say. I was going to say they might need to do evaluations at least once a year or something like that, because when you start a job, you might be in the in the right frame of mind. But once you start working the job, it starts to aggravate and antagonize and things like that. And then you're like, I don't even give a fuck. I don't care.
Right. You have to
understand that's the attitude, they need to get them out.
I agree. You have to understand these are human beings. They're overworked. They're not getting much rest. Some of them working 2 jobs. Some of them got 3, 4, 5 kids at home. Some of them first-time parents. Right? There's a lot of things going on. So you got to give them psychological evaluations. You got to give them you give an officer a ranger training.
At least twice a year.
They go to the range. They go to the range every month, twice a month, something like that.
I don't know. I don't know what they do, but the whole thing. The thing is with that is they are overworked. They are tired. But if they make a mistake, it could be someone's life. Like when I worked at the pharmacy, if I made a mistake, I might have just gave somebody the wrong pill. It might not have killed them. But them, they need to figure out a way to help them. If that's the case,
with all these cops, there's like millions of cops out. Like I don't understand.
That's what I'm saying. So
people can't get the proper training and the proper breaks,
it may not even be the proper training. But if he's saying they're overworked and they're tired, and you make a mistake because of this, because you thought something like when you're tired, you get delusional. You start thinking things that ain't there, or something of that nature. If you're sleep deprived, stuff happens. But if that's the case, they should not be allowed to work these many hours.
Well,
yeah,
I can tell you real quick how you can help this situation. If you take community affairs police officers, which is another unit, you take the community affairs units and you put them in the communities. They know the gangs, they know the board members, they know the people of the community. They are officers that are face to face with regular day-to-day things, but they don't use them for that. They use them for parades, and then you don't see them. Then when something happens and get major in your neighborhood where 3, 4 shootings happen, the community affairs shows up.
They need them as a mediator.
Right. They put the tactical units, Impact, etc., ESUs, all in the crazy neighborhoods, get the people all worked up and scared, and then get them wanting to lash out because they're being forced on something. And then boom, you can talk to them as regular people. People will respect you when you give them respect.
Yeah, definitely.
But when you put those crazy officers out there with the big guns or Impact units that are nervous and scared, and they told that's the only way you can get your stripes, then you get a situation.
That's how they have to do us.
Wow.
They feel that's the only way to do it. But if you talk to us, we're regular people just like everyone else. If you speak to us like we got some sense, because they try to talk to us like we're all stupid. If you talk to us like you think we have sense, then you'll get a better outcome.
And exactly. Once again, that's on some cops. Now, the degrading talk you get from some cops. Because like I said, I've been pulled over a couple of times, and I've only got that maybe once or twice. I can count on my hand the degrading cop, the one that tried to play me like I'm dumb.
I got that. I got pulled over in my man's car, and the guy was like, "Well, is this your car?" I was like, "It is my car." He was like, "Well, why did you do this?" I was like, because I usually drive my other car, and it's a bit smaller. It's a Mini. He was like, "You have a Mini and an Infinity?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "Yes, I do." And then he gave me a ticket. Then he gave me a ticket, and I was like, "What's the ticket for?" He was like, "Improper pulling takeoff." I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Is that a charge?
That's called the police officer that needs to make a quota that has not gotten any summonses, any violations, anything. So now he's being forced to do something.
I've never even heard that one before.
No, what it was 5 black people in an M-Class Infinity. And the woman driving says she also has a Mini Cooper, a BMW Mini Cooper at home. How's that possible? That's what the fuck that was.
So you thought it was a black and white thing?
Because when I went to court, he didn't show up.
So the double standard of it is that you felt it was a racially motivated
situation. It was racial.
When he could just, like Banger said, had a bad day.
It started off very nice.
Did he say black lady? Did he say anytime black lady?
No, it started off nice until I started saying that I had this car and another car. It started off really well.
So you thought
I
until
said
you
that
gave
I
him a
had
little
two.
attitude.
No, I didn't. Actually, I didn't. I said, well, I'm sorry, sir, because I don't usually drive this car. I usually drive my other car that's at home, but it's not big enough to fit everyone in the car. You know, he was like, what kind of car is that? I was like, it's a Mini Cooper. He was like, what? And then I saw his changing attitude. I was like, did this man just what me like I'm not supposed to have anything nice? Like I'm already in an Infiniti, and you mad that I said that the car at home was a Mini Cooper? I'm like, well, what's the problem?
That's verbal. That's
butterflies and rainbows.
That's intellectual bullying. That's what that is. Intellectual bullying, because I ain't got enough summonses and violations, so I got to make something up, hoping that you'll lose control so I can get a violation or a summons out of you. And that's just what it is. You got to keep yourself very calm, cool, collective. And, you know, I think today's Black youth and adults need to study the law, the manual, everything of the police department. Reason being is because if you don't know how to conduct yourself when a police officer tells you, when you say certain things, that's just like when you, like your man was saying a few minutes ago, when a guy was getting out of term as an officer, and then later on he had to, you know, reveal that he was an officer. It's a whole different total energy when they find out you're an officer. Yeah. Once they done said or did too much. But the reality of it all is, and I don't suggest anybody out there listening to act like you're an officer, because then it's gonna cause another problem. Mm-hmm. But what you should do is study the law, study the demographics of it, and then know what your rights are. And those rights are out there for you. If you choose not to execute that, then you're gonna find yourself falling into a point where you lose control at the wrong time over something small that didn't need that much energy, but gave them enough to go on.
Facts. Well, Benga, thank you for calling in, man. We definitely appreciate you.
No problem. Thanks for having me, guys.
Very insightful.
I appreciate it. Great show. All the best, guys. Salute.
All right, bro.
Thank you. Yeah, I was there. What was it on Instagram? An officer was being very aggressive with a perp. I guess the guy did do something that he wasn't supposed to do or whatever. So the white cop like hit him. Then it was a bunch of other cops, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the block cop was like, you're not supposed to do that. That's not what we here for. And then arrested him. Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm never saying that there aren't good cops. I know cops, and I know that all my friends are good cops. I'm hoping my friends are good cops.
This whole concept came off with the double standard with the cops because, was basically because the other day I was, matter of fact, I was reading in the newspaper how a family in the Bronx was standing in front of a store. And unfortunately, somebody lost their life. The guy had lost his life. It was put out that, you know, the cops ran up on him because of an altercation. They got shot. The guy got shot, and, you know, the father went to jail. Later on, when they showed the camera, they found, you know, the store camera and showed, well, these two dudes was banging at the cops. Gotcha. And that was what, you know what I mean, led to the cops shooting the gun that killed her husband. And the reason why her father-in-law, because the gun kept going back and forth between the father and the son-in-law. So, you know what I mean? That's why I said.
Were they shooting at the cops or were they shooting at each other?
No, they were shooting at the cops.
Oh, okay.
See what I'm saying? So we only. I
mean, either way, there was gunplay and it shouldn't have been.
Yeah, but you caught one side of it in the beginning. The beginning was, you know, now these guys. What's going on, Level? I see you on the check-in. You know, these guys were being. The cops were seen as the wrong people. They were wrong. You know, they shot the guy, and you know, they took away the family. But you didn't take for a chance to examine that. At the end of the day, these cops have families too.
They do.
And these are somebody that could have been killed.
Mm-hmm. Like, you know what the hell was it? When the two cops in Brooklyn that damn guy from Baltimore came and they just sitting there minding their business, doing overtime, and he shot them in the goddamn car. They weren't doing anything, and they were regulars in the community, and everyone knew them, and they were good cops.
Shout out to my bro Peter. That was his brother that was murdered in that car.
See, like
You know what I mean? So,
I'm never gonna say that all cops are bad, because just they're people. So there are good people and there are bad people. But there are some people that once they put on that badge and that gun, they become a little extra.
yeah.
You know?
But see, that's why I said there's always there's always double standards to this situation with the cops and us as civilians. And, you know, I just think, you know, instead of, if we saw each other as individuals and tried to work a way to, if there was a way to be worked out where, you know, at least we can have respect amongst each other, things would be a little bit different. But I mean, right now it's hard with the way the cities are.
That isn't just cops, but that's not just cops and civilians. That's just people in general. Some people figure that another race is pretty much, they don't think of them as human. Like a lot of like races don't feel that black people are humans. They just look at us like, I don't know what they look at it as. They just look at us like we don't belong, we shouldn't be here, and like we are the scum of the earth. You know? Yeah. But no, if you looked at us as we were humans, there wouldn't be racist. But that's not how they look at us. Also, I don't know.
Listen, I agree with you totally with that.
I saw it in the news. It was a girl who pretty much shot her. It was her friend. I think it was her friend. They knew each other. I don't know if they were friends or whatever. But she walked up on her, shot her, and then walked away like nothing happened. Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
So when I saw that, I was like, damn, she knew who she was coming for. But the backstory
matter of fact, yeah.
The backstory I got from that is,
it was from the girl from they were friends. She met her at the stoop and she shot her.
Yeah. And the backstory I got from that was that the girl shot her simply because she set up that girl's boyfriend. And in doing so, her child somehow got killed.
Yeah.
So at this point, she's like, I ain't got shit to live for. So that's why she did what she did. It wasn't like, it was just random. Like she just ran up on her and just shot her. Like she had a reason. So we never know why people do what we do. We only see the outcome.
Yeah.
They only ever show us the outcome. We don't not never, but we don't usually know what happens prior to why what happens. Because I can't say that as a woman and this woman got my child killed, that I would not have done the same.
Yeah.
So that's the double standard. Like, what do? Is that you take a life because a life was taken, your child was killed. What do? Do you retaliate? Do you not?
Well, I mean, once again, pretty much everything in this world comes with a double standard. We all know this, starting from relationships to racism, sexism.
Yeah, we know your double standards in a relationship.
I don't have double standards in a relationship.
Whatever.
You know, listen, I wasn't raised in a relationship wise where, you know, the man is not supposed to take care of the women, but shit happens with it. So there's two types of people. Bad days, and that's because someone could die, which is the cops and the pilots. Correct.
Yep.
Very much so.
Exactly.
Very much so.
Like if they're having a bad day, they be like, damn it, my wife just pissed me off, and then you just never know. And then here we go. For what? Because you're having a bad day. Now somebody lost their life. Now that's on your I don't these cops that have repeated actions of like violence, I wonder if it even bothers them.
I believe it do.
I believe it don't.
Some of them I do. No, some of them I do. Some of them I believe.
Because if it did, they wouldn't. I believe if it did, they wouldn't continue to do it.
I think once some of them realize, damn, I fucked up. I made a mistake. But it's
right.
Too late.
But I'm not talking about a one and done. I'm not talking about a one and done type of thing. I'm talking about repeated. Like
the guy, like the cops that repeatedly.
Right. I'm talking about like the cop that killed George Floyd. That wasn't his. Yeah. That was the first time he had this type of thing.
Oh nah, and
you go on this man's neck for 8 minutes, like there was no remorse.
Yeah, there was no remorse, but he deserves everything he gets. And I'm telling you why, he's still in jail. He's in jail right now, feeling like he didn't.
They told him the only way your ass is getting out of here is in a body bag. Somebody told his ass.
Well, I was like, I don't wish death upon anybody, but if that's something that happened, I felt that way about Zimmerman. I think that he should have been bodied by now. I don't understand how he's still fucking alive.
It's because people believe that he did what he did. What he did was suited. None of that would have ever been needed if you would have minded your business like they told you on the phone. You called 911 and they said, leave it alone, let the police come. And what did you do? You were not minding your business. You were getting your ass beat by a 15-year-old boy, and then you had to shoot him because you're a punk.
Yeah.
Because you can't fight. You couldn't fend over a 15-year-old boy or 17. I forget how old he was at the time. He was a child.
Yeah, but these little boys is kind of type strong, so don't get it twisted too.
I know my son. This was a grown ass man. You thought, first of all, you went over there to act like you was gonna do something. If you felt like you couldn't fight him, you should have minded your business.
Facts. I know. Listen. We on the same page. Like I said, I'm trying to understand why that man's still alive. That was my whole concept.
But not even that. There are people who want his autograph on a bottle of Arizona and a bag of Skittles.
And that person should be smacked.
My whole thing is a child died. Whether he was black or white or whatever, it was a child. Y'all should not be encouraging this fucking man. That should not. There should be nobody on this earth that should be encouraging this man killing a child.
You're 100% correct. Definitely.
And it's only because the boy was black. Are y'all willing to want him to sign a bag of Skittles or a fucking Arizona? You really want this murderer's signature? It's gonna be worth something.
That's the racism that's still in this world, and it's crazy. It's definitely crazy.
If it was not for black people, most of the shit today we wouldn't have.
I think it's a fair share of people that created shit.
Yeah. Miss, you wouldn't be able to blow dry your hair. You wouldn't curl your hair. You wouldn't be able to stop at a stop sign. You wouldn't be able to stop at a stoplight. You wouldn't have peanut butter. Motherfucker, we could go on and on and on. There's a whole bunch of shit that black people have made. You wouldn't. Oh, they don't season their fucking chicken, so it don't matter about seasoning anyway.
Here you go. All right, yo, we about to blow, man. Before we get up out of here, what you gotta say? How you going out, Rainbow? Look, you got me all fucked up right now.
Don't be a racist. We love everyone. And you know what? I have come to realize that Black Americans are the most cultured people around. We know about different cultures. When you ask certain people, I'm not even going to just say white because it's not just white. When you ask people about other people's culture, they be like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Like I was like, yeah, you ever had jollof rice? They be like, what's that? I'd be like,
who?
I'd be like, have you ever had a Haitian dish? Have you ever had an African dish? Have you ever had an Indian dish?
I've had an African dish.
Right. And I'd be like, have you ever heard of these things? Like, I'm like, the only thing people know about is Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah for Jewish people. I'm like, so y'all don't know about anything else about any other culture. Like, I think Black Americans are the most cultured people around. Even though they say we are the most ignorant people around, we are the most cultured because we actually.
I just find us to be very violent. I have to say that we're very violent people, and we all need.
You really, but you know where we get our violence from?
Yes, other people.
Where do we get it from?
That's where I get all my violence from. Other people.
No. If you go back and if you go look back at who were the violent people. Black people we were violent for things of like capturing food and for like tribes and shit of that nature in Africa.
I'm gonna tell them
we didn't go to other places and try to take over.
Tomorrow. You need to be unplugged tomorrow. I said you need to be unplugged tomorrow.
I'm be
'Cause
at
I feel
work,
your
so I can't
energy.
be.
Nah,
I can't be
you
on
need to
plug
be.
tomorrow because I'm gonna
You
be at
need to
work.
be on plug tomorrow. Shout out to Molly and Joe. Yo, shout out our sponsors so we get up out of here, baby.
Our sponsors are The Gallery, Plush Vodka, Stains by Butter, Gear on J. Mac Lane, A Cause, A Concern, A Solution Network, Inc., Envious Creations, Martine Felton.
Yes.
Don't be racist.
So that's how she going
Black
out.
people can't be racist.
I'm going out differently. I just want to say, listen, let's try to stop the double standards in life. Let's try to move forward and try to become one again. Where, right now we're going through a pandemic.
Like I said again, we were never one.
We were at a time.
When
the World Trade Center went down, I started seeing people unite.
You mean America? You mean America. New York? New York became one.
Yes, New York became one.
The world was never one because they will always and forever hate.
I'm talking about New York, and right now we're still in a crazy pandemic, and right now this is where we need to be back as one again.
No, we don't.
To try to get out of this pandemic.
Stay a distance.
6 feet.
Give me my 6 feet.
Right. We're gonna give her 6 feet.
I
want to thank everybody for tuning in. We appreciate you. Shout out to
6 feet.
Shout out to Banger for calling in. Shout out to everybody that checked in. You know where to catch us, the Evening Rush Network. Tomorrow night you got Plugged with Molly and Joe. You got TL Mac Fitness with twin Roz and now Mandy.
I'm about to say Rainbow's not on that show. And his name is TL Mac.
Ain't that what I said?
No, you called him twin.
I'm sorry. My bad. I'm so used to it, Don't forget Friday you got Eugene and Lovable now with On Everything, which is I can't wait to that. And then of course you got Chrissy and Friends with Sex, Love, and Alcohol.
I was about to say, isn't that the name of the show, not Chrissy and Friends? It's with Chrissy and Friends.
It's with Chrissy and Friends.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? Make sure y'all tune in and check those shows out. Next week,
Saturday. You forgot.
Saturday, Let's Talk Crazy.
Okay.
How you could fit Let's Talk Crazy? Nobody forgets Let's Talk Crazy.
You
My
did.
brother Shice. I ain't forget Shice.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then just wanted to let y'all know Barbershop and Mike's is coming back now with Bro Mike and Memphis Barber. I gotta learn this man's name. But Memphis Barber, he's gonna be in there. So shout out to both of them. They'll definitely be back on Tuesdays. But they're from 9 to 10. So shout out to Barbershop and Mike's coming back also. But make sure y'all check out all the shows on the Evening Rush Network. You can go to the eveningrushnetwork.com and watch all the shows in their entirety, whatever you missed, whatever you didn't miss. You can also check us out on YouTube. Please subscribe. Please hit that bell for the notifications.
Subscribe.
Share.
Like.
Yes. So thank y'all for tuning in. Yo, shout out to everybody. You already know what it is, man. Catch y'all later. Let them know what it is, Fresh.
My nephew told me I'm a king and a crown fitted. You can catch me in $1,000 outfit. I'm so marked